Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start out this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops, a great millstone that rule well, that teach well, while learning truth 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophet, servants, scattered abroad the four corners of the earth, and shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you sisters that are sincere, and your children, shalom. And in today's video, as you can see with the title, it said Trump is testing martial law in Los Angeles, right? And we know that martial law will take place. You know that it's a form of prophecy. We know that this is all part of that devil coming with his great wrath. So he is going to implement martial law very soon. And that's why you keep seeing, with these various protests that are happening in the U.S., right along with those protests that happened, I believe, maybe about 2 weeks ago in LA, right? When you had all of that looting and, people burning cars and things of that nature happening. They deployed the U.S. Marines and they also deployed the National Guard. But now it's almost every week or so you're seeing the military being spoken about. You see them getting deployed. You got 200 Marine soldiers that were just deployed to the Alligator Alcatraz. So, these devils are ultimately trying to get people mind accustomed to seeing the military, because it's about to come very soon in the near future that, hey, the military is going to be the new policeman, and that's ultimately the goal for these elites with their new world order. That's what they want to bring about, policing everything being, militarized, where people can't move around freely, complete control. I mean, that's the mindsets of these devils, man, and that's what they ultimately want to bring about. But I'm actually go to that, right? Because this is what we're coming into the time of, man, where this man is about to really, truly show his horns, mainly among you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, right, which makes up the biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12 in the KJV. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil," right, the so-called white man, "is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." And this is the time and season that we're ultimately living in. We're about to start seeing these things take place, where this man is about to start really showing the amount of hatred that he has towards you Israelites, man. Because who you think he's going to be putting these military soldiers at? He's going to be putting them in you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians neighborhood. He's going to be putting them in a neighborhood where there's a lot of crime, where there's a lot of poverty, where people are, struggling and things of that nature, man. So that's the whole ordeal that these devils are ultimately trying to bring about. And we know that they will do it because it's all part of prophecy, man. So, there will be martial law coming soon to this place, America, man. Right? So I'm actually get into the video so we can listen to what it is the guy's saying. But before I start, I'm going to say fair use. Fair use on the 1976 Copyright Act. Not getting paid for this video. This is only for educational purposes only. Fair use.
Aryan nightmare building in Los Angeles. Is it a preview of martial law is increasingly the question. We know from looking at history what it looks like when authoritarians start testing the limits. And one of the things that we are now seeing yesterday in MacArthur Park in Los Angeles, a neighborhood known as the Ellis Island of the West Coast, flooded with federal agents, some marching in line, some not, some on foot, some on horse, dressed in fatigues, masks, and helmets.
Right, because as you can see, we're living in that time of season. Donald Trump is that guy, man. He's Nero, right? That the apostles and elders have been teaching and telling the people, this man is Nero coming back in the reincarnation. And this man is about to get real, draconian with his laws that he's ultimately putting in place, man. This man is about to show you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, in particular, the main people that they're ultimately against, these Edomites. They're about to show the hate that they have towards you Israelites, man, right? Via all of these things that they're bringing about. So this is Isaiah chapter 19, right? And I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, "And the Egyptians," right, which is talking about these people here in Babylon, the great America. These people are the modern day Egyptians, right? It says, "Will I give over into the hands of a cruel Lord," right? And that cruel Lord is Donald Trump, man, right? "And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts," right? And this is what you see a fierce king doing. Mind you, this man hasn't even been in office, 6 months? And all of the stuff he's doing, I mean, ain't no other president like this man has done the things that he's doing. So we know that he's that cruel Lord. He's the one that's bringing all of these unrighteous decrees. He's putting everything in place. He's building these concentration camps throughout the U.S. I mean, everything that this man is doing is proving that he's that guy, man, and that we're in that time of season, right? That's why we tell you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, this precept right here that I'm going to grab. This is Sirach chapter 12, verse 10, because a lot of our people ultimately put their trust in this man. They trust and believe the things in which it is that he tells them, that he's going to make America great again and, all of these different types of things. But that's not what's coming, man. What's coming is, terror on all sides, man, that the Lord is about to allow this devil to do unto you Israelites, mainly you 2/3 of our people, man. Right? It said, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, right? And we know ultimately the more iron rusteth, the more worser it becomes. That's the same thing with this man's personality, his behavior. The more we get closer and closer to him, ultimately getting ready to come out of his power, the more you're about to see how evil this man truly is, the more he's going to expose those horns, right? So this is verse 11. It said, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away, man. And that's what a lot of these people are about to see very soon about this devil, that he has never changed who he was, man. He just been concealing it. He's just been hiding it. But we're coming into that time of season where this man is about to, unleash all of these things that he ultimately has been building up. The hatred that he has towards you, Jakes, he's about to get ready to show that, man. Right? And who you think majority of the people were that was at that so-called park where you had all of those National Guards and federal agents running towards, man? They were Israelites, man. Jakes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. They look at you as their enemy, man. And this is what we've been warning you Israelites about, that we're coming into this time, man, where this man is about to get real, sinister towards you, man. Because we're the main people that he's ultimately going to be trying to come after, man, when this devil does come down with that wrath, man. He's coming after you tribes, man. They're not worried about so-called Edomite or Caucasian people, man. They're coming after you brown-skinned people, man. This is the whole point of this devil talking about making America great again. They're not trying to make you great for you. It have never been great for you tribes, man. They're trying to make you great for them, man. And when were the times great here in America? When they had you Israelites in subjection, when you were in bondage, when they were able to rule over you and to control you and have you, bowing down to their will, man, and doing the things in which it is that they want you to do, having full control over you. That's ultimately what these devils mean by making this country great again, man. And that's going to involve and result in a lot of civil war happening here in America very soon, man. Because, it's going to come upon a time very soon in the near future where a lot of these people, they're not going to continue to keep dealing with, their family members getting snatched up and things like that are ultimately happening due to these ICE raids and things like that. So, hey, them race wars and class wars are going to come very soon, man. And that's why you got these devils ultimately showing the military and, constantly allowing it to resonate in people's mind of them unleashing these troops, man, and putting them in certain places because they're trying to get the people's minds used to seeing the military so soon to come in the very near future when the military is boarding up and, surveilling all of these cities, that people won't be surprised, man. But that's what's coming, martial law. So I'm actually read this precept that I got right here. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe meaning destruction. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's what's going to happen very soon in this place, America, man. Race wars, civil wars, gender wars. Because ultimately, a lot of these Northern Kingdom tribes, they're going to get tired of, Esau ultimately coming after them, man. And right along with this devil talking about, he's getting ready to come after the Haitians, which are a part of the Southern Kingdom. So we know he's going to be coming after Judah next, man, which are you so-called black people. So, I mean, everything in this society is being built up for all hell to break loose. And that's why they're putting everything in place. That's why they're showing the military troops. That's why they're getting people's mind prepared for martial law and things like that, man, because it's going to happen, right? They just need to, ultimately the excuse to bring it in, right? As it says, ordo ab chaos. They need to bring in the so-called order out of chaos. And they're the ones creating the chaos. And they're going to see how the reaction of the people is going to be, which is going to be a lot of these people uprising against the government and things of that nature due to the unfair treatment that they're ultimately having to endure. And then this devil's going to come with the reaction, or his solution, I would say, which is going to be to implement martial law, to lock everything down and things of that nature, man. And to haul people off into these concentration centers that they're building, man. Right? That's what everything is going towards, right? And we know it's going to happen because it's a part of prophecy. So these things will take place, right? So I'm actually finished reading. This is 2nd Esdras 15, verse 16. For there should be sedition among men, right? Going to that word sedition, it means people uprising against the government, man. So that's what's going to be happening very soon here in America. A lot of these Americans are going to be uprising against the government, man. Especially once, like I said, this devil begins to start coming after you tribes, man, severely, and coming after you with that great wrath that he has towards you. That's when these sedition is going to really kick off, man, when people are really going to be fighting against the government, when people are really going to be fighting against the military and things of that nature. This is what you're going to have taking place in this country, man, right? And it says, for there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. This is the point right here, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And the reason you won't be able to move around freely from city to city, because during all of this chaos that's ultimately going to be taking place in the very near future in these cities, guess what? These devils are going to lock everything down, man. They're going to have a military with tanks and, armored vehicles and everything that you see from the little video clip that I showed. You're going to see a lot of these things becoming more prevalent in a lot of these inner cities, man. So that's why people won't be able to move around freely and things of that nature, because the military is going to lock everything down, man. But as it says in verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. So ultimately, we know that everything in which it is that's happening is all the judgment from Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. So that when these times do begin to manifest, we know that ultimately it's the Lord, the one that's bringing it, man. And that goes back into the wickedness of the people, man. Mainly the wickedness of his people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, the 2/3 of them, I should say, right? So I'm actually go up to 2nd Esdras chapter 15, and I'm actually start at verse 5. It said, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And these are all of the things in which it is the Lord is going to bring, man. Right? Verse 6, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, right? So due to the wickedness that's ultimately occurring in this earth, especially in this place, Babylon, the Great America, we're about to see all of these terrible times come upon this place, man. Right? As it tells you in 2nd Esdras 8 and 50, man, for many great miseries shall be done unto them that in the latter times shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. So a lot of the pride and the arrogancy that you see amongst these people here in America, that's the reason why the Lord is about to bring the judgment. Because we know that the Lord despises pride, man. He hates pride. And I'm actually go to a precept just proving that, right? This is Proverbs chapter 6. And I'm going to go down, get straight to the point. I'm going to go to verse 16. It said, these 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. Right? It says, verse 17, a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift and run into mischief. But I really just want to focus on verse 17 when I said a proud look, right? And the majority of these people here in America, in this society, they're very proud, man. These people are very high-minded. They think highly of themselves, especially amongst the 2/3 of our people, right along with these damn heathens. These people are proud as hell. And they don't believe this stuff is ever going to happen to them here in America. They don't believe that these things that we ultimately tell them about, mainly of our people, that these things are going to happen. They scoff, they laugh, they come up against this truth. They mock it, they criticize it, they ridicule it. So, hey, the Lord is going to bring this punishment upon you proud people, man. Right? It's going to be martial law. There's going to be terror coming on all sides, man. And the Lord is the one that's bringing it. Right? As it tells you in this scripture. This is Amos chapter 3, verse 6 in the KJV. It says, shall a trumpet, right, be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? And that's what we're warning you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians ultimately about, that these terrible times in which it is that people are talking about, right, about martial law and things of that nature. The men of the Lord are warning you Israelites about these things. We're telling you that it's on the cusp of happening. We're telling you that these times will take place in your lifetime. We're telling you to prepare and get right with the Lord because we're coming into some very serious times. This is what we're warning you Israelites about, man. But we know ultimately only the elect is going to listen, and the 2/3 are not going to take heed to the warnings. Hence why they're going to get caught up in this evil time, man. They're going to get caught up in the martial law. They're going to get caught up in the race wars. They're going to get caught up in the famine and all of the other different type of plagues that the Lord is going to bring upon this place, right? It says, shall there be evil in the city? And the Lord have not done it. The word evil meaning bad times. So when martial law and all of these other different things do begin to take place in this country, just know that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the one that's ultimately bringing it, man. Right? The Lord is bringing these things. And I'm actually go to another precept. Isaiah chapter 45. And I'm going to start at verse 4, but the point is at verse 7. It says, for Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. Talking about you 2/3. Because the elect, they know Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They're getting right with the Lord in these times, preparing for the coming evils that are to come, right? But the 2/3 of our people, they don't know the Lord, man. That's why they're going to get caught up in all of this destruction, right? And it says, verse 5, I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God besides me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, right? Verse 6, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, and there is none else. Verse 7, this is the point. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So everything that we're ultimately about to see occur in this American society very soon, it's the Lord that's bringing it, man. It's all a form of judgment, and that's what we're warning you Israelites about, and to get right, man, before this time actually comes. Because, there is going to be martial law. Esau is going to come down with great wrath. I mean, this devil is about to get busy, man. Because that's going back into what I said about him only having a short period of time to rule. This man knows that his time is coming to an end. So he's about to get very, sinister out here in these streets, man. And the Lord is going to allow him to do that, right? Because that's what this man was ultimately created to do, to take away peace from this earth, man, and to get violent and to get, things like that. That's what this man's nature is. That's what he was created for, to be the wicked, This is Revelation 6:4. It said, and there went out another horse that was red, representing this devil, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and power was given to him, right, by the Heavenly Father, that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, right? And he's already taking peace throughout the earth through all of these various wars and things of that nature that are going on. But he's about to take the peace from this place, America, as well. Because like I said, Ordo Abkeo, he needs something bad to happen in order for him to implement in his new system, man. Everything goes back to that Seahit, man. These devils just need the right time to implement that chip. And they're going to only be able to bring it in by chaos, man. Right? So it says, and that they should kill one another, and that was given unto him a great sword, right? And that sword is what this devil's blessed with, man, which it tells you that in Genesis 27:40. He was given that blessing by the Heavenly Father, who gave it to him through his father Isaac, right? So this devil's perfected that sword, and he's ultimately ready to unleash it upon you jakes, man. So I'm actually go to that as well. It's Ezekiel chapter 21. And I'm going to start at verse 8, right? It said, and the word of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, came unto me, saying, verse 9, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished, right? Verse 10, it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? Right? And that's what a lot of our people are ultimately doing. They're still in that spirit of having fun, being in the spirit of folly, thinking everything is a joke. While you got this devil setting up prison camps all around the U.S. and this devil putting martial law in effect right in front of you people's face, slowly but surely. But everybody thinks it's just a joke, man. You know, it's all just a game. Everything is just, you know, fun and laughter and having fun. But hey, these people are about to be out of that spirit very soon, man. Right? It said, it contempt of the rod of my son as every tree, right? And this is verse 11. It said, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hands of the slayer. And who is that slayer? That's talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So this devil is about to come with his martial law. He is about to come with his, you know, checkpoints and the military, you know, controlling these cities and people not being able to move around freely. All of that stuff is coming, man, right? Because it's all a part of prophecy, right? This is verse 12. It said, cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel, terror by reasons of the sword, right? So terrors are going to come from the sword, which is Esau, man. And this is going into the time of Jacob's trouble and things of that nature. But this is what's going to come in the very near future, man. We're already living in that time now, right? It just has to continue to escalate and escalate. We're building up to that time. It's a buildup, right? That's why I tells you in Habakkuk 2 and 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And I'm going to actually get that precept as well. But I'm going to finish reading this and I'm going to get that in the NLT. It says, terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh. And that's what we're warning you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians about, to get right with the Lord, man. And telling you that these times and seasons are fastly approaching, man. That life as you know it is about to come to an end very soon, man. Hey, but like I said, we know you people won't listen. So, you know, a lot of you people, y'all just going to have to face it the hard way, man. You know, by finding yourselves in these crazy situations that are to come, right? For not listening, man, for not hearkening unto the men of the Lord, mainly the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and the brothers on down teaching the same doctrine, man, right? This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3 in the NLT. It said the vision, right, meaning the prophecies, is yet for a future time. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. And that's what we're telling you people, man. That martial law is going to take place. Race wars, class wars, civil wars, all hell breaking loose in this country. It will take place. You just got to wait on it. Even though it looked like it ain't going to happen, just wait for it, because it will surely come, you know? So, yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Lord's willing, I pray it be edifying. Just something quick through the spirit. Till the next time, I'm going to say shalom.